the bounties. What are your takes on the
So
three captains?
I am very passive when it comes to bounties. I just love having an upgrade. So I actually
Yeah.
enjoyed the fact that they all had 3 billion. Do I
Okay.
think that they all deserve 3 billion? Probably not. Like
Mhm.
like looking at 3 billion and then looking at Law or Kid, I'm just like, do they really need that? But I do agree the reasoning behind it, that they wanted to split up Kaido and Big Mom's bounty into 3. You had the 3 captains that took them down. I agree with the mindset.
Yeah.
I think the fandom just wanted them to have staggered bounties because we wanted Luffy to come out on top because he put in more work. And that's how it was when we first were introduced to these guys back at Sabaody. Because Kid had the best bounty, and then it was Luffy, and then Law. So people wanted to see a change up in that formula. But we just didn't get that.
I was like, I think my only thing would be like, people were saying like, oh, they're downplaying like Luffy because of the stuff. And it's like, I mean, they put a bounty on it, and 3 billion isn't a small bounty. So it was just kind of like, I think my only gripes with it would be like having Kid and Law lower. But like you said, like I think bounties for the most part are decorative, unless like, we find out Green Bull is like a bounty hunter and that was like his thing. Maybe if Oda for some reason just brings back like the bounty hunter concept, then it would make a difference. But for me, it's kind of like symbolic, like, okay, they're all 3 here, it's cool, it's whatever. 9 billion total, that's like 100,000 more than Kaido and Big Mom together, so I'm cool with it.
It's nice. I think Luffy's bounty poster, I just keep on looking at it and I'm like, there has to be something with this. The fact that he's covering his eyes. Like, the CP0 agent was on the rooftop, and this was the best photo he could get of him. Like, you can't even tell what this is. Like, half of his face is being blocked off by his hand.
Wait, so do you think, I was thinking, this is in my stream, I was saying that because Apu is the one taking pictures on Onigashima. So I think Apu took these pictures, which is hilarious.
I think in the chapter they say it was actually CP0 that took it. It's CP0's. I'm looking at the chapter. His name is Guernica-sama.
Oh, the photo. Oh, I completely glazed over that. Oh, yeah, right.
It's the second panel. He's the one who took it, which makes even less sense because it's like, this guy wasn't on the rooftop. Mr. Guernica. I don't remember him.
He blitzed him and then died. Like oh no, this guy. Oh yeah, no, this guy isn't even the
Guernica is the one who escaped and who's most likely dead by Big Mom's pirates right now.
Oh my god. Okay, that upsets me more that like we are getting all the CP0 names of all the ones I don't care about. I need to remember the guy that deserves so much respect. I thought that was the coldest thing where he just showed up.
Have a name. He doesn't even have a name.
It's He's so just the guy. Like, for the longest time, I'm just like, what is his name? I need to remember this guy because this is the coolest antagonist. He just showed up and was like, I did my duty.
Bro, he tipped his hat and everything, bro. Like, that was
like,
I love that.
We don't get his name. We don't
get his name. We get no backstory. We get no face reveal. Like, we get nothing from these guys. How did they even make CP0? Like, how's that possible?
I don't even like the Guernica guy. Like, I don't even want to remember his name. He did nothing. He just sat there and was like putting out orders and letting the other dude just die. Like, I don't know.
The best part is that if you look at CP0 right now, if you look at all the remaining members, it's literally just CP9.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's literally just CP9. It's Kaku, Lucci, Spandam, Blueno, Khalifa. Like, it's like, why even upgrade them if it's the exact same people?
Do you think
it's just so goofy?
Lucci's not even the strongest because he's not masked, right? Because Robin said the masked ones are the strongest ones, right?
Well, yeah, she said that, but like, all the masked dudes are dead. Rob Lucci's still alive,
apparently.
Yeah.
And
oh
you
my
know
gosh.
what's really funny? TikTok creator posted this, was Rob Lucci's pigeon has a mask.
No way.
Yo, and he was like, this pigeon is the end game for CP0. Like, I was dying because Rob Lucci doesn't have a mask, but the pigeon does. That was pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie.
One thing I saw in this is a totally different anime, but there's another anime called Bungo Stray Dogs. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yeah.
Are you up to date? Are you cool with like a small spoiler?
Well, I don't know if I watched all the anime in the movie.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So you should know about this. But one of the strongest characters in Bungo Stray Dogs actually disguises himself as a cat.
Oh
So yeah, so
you're
I'm
right.
wondering if there's ever gonna be a character like that in One Piece that just is a Zoan that stays in like his normal animal form and just kind of chills in the background.
I got plenty of theories for you. You haven't checked out my Mihawk video, right?
No, not yet, not yet. After the stream, I took so many shots of whiskey and I passed out. Let me tell you, I woke up with a slight hangover.
Did you get more super chats after that?
No, you were the last one, and thank you for that as well.
Okay.
You didn't have to do that. That was too nice.
I was trying to get you wasted, bro.
Oh my god, yeah, literally just every super chat. I was like, all right, I guess I'll take another shot. It's good. It was a good chapter. I had to.
Yeah, definitely. I said the same thing. I think I got to Udon when they showed the Udon panel, like after the Robin stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't even see Green Bull yet, but I saw the Udon thing and I paused there because I already noticed that the greenery was there. And then I got up and I was like, no fucking way that Green Bull just rolls up like this and it's like beautiful now. And I didn't even see what happened. Then I saw everyone murdered and I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, this chapter, I got up, walked around. It was this chapter
contemplating.
Yeah, I was saying like these 3 pages where it's like, we see Rob, like last chapter, they, had the suspense about what happened to Robin. We get that figured out. Then we see this poneglyph in the back. Then we get Sukiyaki's reveal. Then we see Green Bull do this to Udon. Those pages just rapid fire, like hit me. It was too good.
This chapter was like shorter compared to most, but it's definitely one of the better ones.
Yeah.
I don't even know how that's even possible.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, these 3 pages weren't even the things that we were just talking about. Like, like just going back to the Luffy, I made a video about his bounty poster that the headline is the worst bounty poster ever. Because like you said, for one thing, he's covering his eyes, but the other part, he's in gear 5. And so like he has white hair. So like if I made a joke. I was just like, yo, what if Green Bull shows up Flower Capital, looks at the poster and just doesn't recognize Luffy? And that'd be kind of funny. And then someone commented back and was like, it's going to be really comical if someone's like, are you joking? And then they just like cover his eyes and it's like, and he's like, oh, it is Luffy. And then,
oh my gosh.
There's so many ways 1054 can go based off.
Oh, yeah. And there's also another theory that I read where, like, every Admiral has their little quirk and, like, personality trait.
Yeah.
Like, what if Green Bull's personality trait or quirk is the fact that no matter where he goes, he always accidentally does good things. Like how he, unintentionally brought life to Udon and all this other stuff. Like, he's just going to go to the festival and somehow make it better for everybody. Like, I have no clue. I just thought that was a funny comment.
Yeah.
But also, the bounty poster with Luffy, going back to that real quick, they wanted to remove the D from his name. How would that even work? He would just be called Monkey Luffy. And the thing is, all of his other bounty posters say Monkey D. Luffy.
Yeah, and so that was another video I made today where I was like, I went onto like Brago stream and JD Legend, and I was just like, I'm looking for the D, guys. Help me look for the D. Because in this chapter, Luffy, his D is there, and Blackbeard, the only other one that we would know, both of them already had D's in their thing, so it wouldn't make sense for them to remove it because they're both world famous pirates. So then it's like, why are you thinking about doing it now? And so
they should have done it a long time ago.
Yeah, and people responding to me saying like, well, they did that with Roger. Like, his name was Gold D Roger, but they called him Gold Roger after Laugh Tale. And then that's when I, push back and I say, like, that's not true. After Laugh Tale, they'll call him the Pirate King, but we don't know if his bounty poster was ever Gold D Roger ever before. We don't have any proof of that. And from my perspective, the way I think about it is that if God Valley was one of the biggest events and they erased Rox D Zebek from history and nobody knows about him, then it would make sense that they would probably at that point be like, okay, he's Gold Roger instead of Gold D Roger from God Valley. And then I found proof in chapter 506. Rayleigh talks about Gold Roger to the Straw Hat crew, right? And
Yeah.
the only person we know that would know Roger before God Valley is Brooke. Brooke says, I sort of remember a rookie named Gold Roger. So that means that during Brooke's time as a rookie, Roger was known as Gold Roger, not Gold D Roger.
They immediately covered up his name.
Right. And so now going back to this chapter, the whole Gorosei thing about saying removing the D, it makes even less sense to me that it's Luffy or Blackbeard. And the other part of, we only got 3 bounty posters in this chapter. So maybe next chapter we're going to get a bunch more. And Green Bull's saying the whole world outside of this is a mess, right? He's angry because because of the Flower Capital. He's mad because of everyone else. So who knows what D we're going to get. And that's why I was saying, yo, guys, help me look for the D. I'm looking for the D.
Watch us get out of like Wano Kuni, and there's like so many D's everywhere. Like just like for no reason. So, oh man,
I'm gonna bring this topic back up tomorrow on the stream, because once you watch the Toki video, there's a whole conversation about maybe we see something crazy. Maybe the D is on Wano, but because okay, this will tease it. But
yeah,
do you think Momo is gonna get a bounty?
It would make sense if he did, because Wano isn't associated with the world government. It's not its own, like, you know, recognized country per se. So I could see Momonosuke getting a bounty solely for that reason.
Yeah.
But I'm just not too sure. We haven't seen like leaders of countries necessarily get bounties. Like this would be a brand new thing for us.
Except he is the son of Odin, and Odin is known by the world government. The last we saw at the not the Reverie, but Akainu and Sengoku, their whole conversation was like, oh god, Odin. Like Akainu almost was like afraid of Wano just because of Odin's name. It's like we're not going to Wano, guys. Like none of us can do anything if they're all like, just imagine being like Akainu and just like picturing Wano is just full of Odins. I would be terrified.
Gosh. Yeah, it's just like a bunch of samurai. I mean, the Scabbards are essentially, you know, Yonko commander-ish level. I mean, Duke and Nekomamushi took down Jack. Ashura Doji clashed with them. Like, these guys are strong.
True.
Especially give Momonosuke the blade and the devil fruit. He's a powerhouse.
There's gonna be a lot of people disagreeing in terms of like portrayal of, you know, the Scabbards in terms of Yonko commanders, but I will. The one thing that they can't argue is that Kinemon has the durability, the highest durability in all of One Piece. This dude went through some crazy shit, and he recovered faster than Luffy. When you think about it, and he's not even faster. He's a designer clothing store. Like
the dude got bashed in the head, and then like a couple hours later, he was chilling with Momonosuke at the Flower Capital. Like that's it. Like this is all the span of one night.
He got bashed twice. Survived like an explosion. Like he was pretty much near Ashura Doji when he died. And like how many other things that happened to him from, you know, from Kanjuro to everything else, you know what I mean? It's crazy what Kinemon went through. So yeah, I honestly think Yonko commander for sure.
I honestly think the only reason Oda wanted him to live was to give us this panel, this chapter with him and Otsuru finally reuniting with no dialogue and nothing. I think that's why he was like he has to be reunited with his wife. I think that was Oda's really he really wanted to nail that in.
Yeah,
he wanted to give him a happy ending.
That whole like strip was like we got Zorro smiling. That I took a big pause. I was like, yo, we haven't really gotten this in like the time skip. Like
no.
Every time Zorro smiles, we gotta like put it as a wallpaper almost. And then the next panel, I don't know if you noticed this, but this has to be an error. Nekomamushi, he has both of his arms.
Does he really? Let me see. I'm actually looking at it right now.
Both of his arms. And
he does.
Yeah. So I was like, wait, did he lose his leg or his arm? But no, he lost his arm. I'm like 99% sure it was his arm.
Dang. We could have yeah, you're right. I'm looking at it. He has both of his arms. Oh no. Oh no.
And so like I didn't even notice that the first time through because I was just blind. Like Kinemon with Otsuru, I was like,
kind of stole the panel.
This is what we've been waiting for.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Somebody initially was like, oh, he's cheering with Toko. I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, why would Toko be drinking? And then I look up and then Toko's with Raizo and Okiku.
Yeah. Oda doesn't support underage drinking like that.
Yeah, I mean, every time Luffy has a drink, it's like, oh yeah, by the way, this is juice, you know? Like, this is just water.
So
Buggy D Clown. What do you think about him becoming the newest Yonko?
So I saw your video too. It's funny because when I posted on my stream that last Saturday night, I said that because of the dialogue in a lot of people were thinking that it was going to be Kid and Law, right?
Yeah.
Originally. And so because of the dialogue in 1052, like Kid, for example, saying like, oh, like we're the replacement Yonkos. Like I was just like, oh, that's set up for this him not to be the Yonko. And then the other part of it is if there's only one spot open, then Kid over Law, that's a difficult choice. And so outside of Wano, the only option that I saw was Buggy. And when I said that, everyone was just like, nah, no way. Ain't no way, Buggy.
That's how it is.
I was like, hey, listen, Buggy is a menace outside of here. Like, and I think I said on the thing, he replaced Doflamingo. He replaced Kaido. Doflamingo in terms of weapons. Kaido because weapons also. And then Germa because of mercenaries. Germa's like tied up in Whole Cake Island, so Buggy's taken over there. And he has, and I just went over a panel. Even the impelled down prisoners were strong enough for Whitebeard to recognize them. Like, I don't know if you remember, I think it was like chapter 559 where Buggy and Whitebeard had that interaction where he's just like, hey, team up with me, whatever. And then Whitebeard talked to Marco and he was just like, I don't really know about Buggy, but the rest of the people he has, they're really strong. Like, I don't want them to be on the other side for whatever reason. So we're gonna ally with them. So even back then, that was pre-time skip. These people were strong enough that Whitebeard could I guess observation hockey sense that they were, actually threats.
And the best part is that Buggy has been pulling like a Tomorrow Black on us, like how that fake Luffy was recruiting people to join his alliance back in after the time skip. He's kind of been doing the whole thing too, where people are saying, oh, there's Buggy, he's a warlord, I need to join him.
Yeah, better than that though, because Tomorrow Black had to like scout people, be like, I am Luffy, join me. Buggy just breathes. Buggy just breathes, and people are like, give me some of that air, bro.
Dude, not to mention, okay, like Buggy had giants in his crew. Buggy, remember he had that one dude that's now in Luffy's fleet. He was part of Buggy's crew. People wanted to join Buggy.
Pirates. Yeah, and the thing is about giants is giants are honorable. They don't just join anybody, right? They join people with like who they respect, and that kind of means that the giants respected Buggy to a certain extent. I mean, I don't know who else they would respect, but it'd have to be Buggy.
I just love the fact that I saw this idea that Buggy was gonna become Yonko, and then I saw it and I was like, I'm gonna jump all aboard it, like I'm going all in. And then lo and behold, Buggy is an emperor.
It was low-key a little annoying because the spoilers keep coming earlier and earlier. But the moment that I heard that the spoilers dropped, I don't read the spoilers, but I have like a few like my mods like keep track of it. And so as soon as that dropped, people quickly were like, all right, never mind. I'm not gonna slander this take anymore. I'm just like, okay, fine. It takes the leakers to bring you to my side, I guess.
Dude, Buggy as a Yonko though, that means that Kabaji, Moji, and Alvita and Galdino are Yonko commanders. I think that's my favorite part out of this. It's not just the fact that Buggy's a Yonko, it's the fact that the buffoons behind him are now expected to be somewhat strong, quote unquote strong as well. Like people will feud these guys, like Buggy's inner circle.
They had the epithets beforehand, like Moji is the beast tamer. Like,
oh my god,
that's a complete counter to Kaido's thing, like the beast tamer. And the other dude, he's not even the first. I don't even know which one was the first or second. Is Kabaji the
Kabaji's Kabaji the acrobat is second, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that dude was wild too. I think he could also breathe fire. I don't know if you remember that.
Dude, he gave Zorro a run for his money. If these dudes kept on training, they would be kind of strong. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, all right.
Oh my gosh.
like I asked the thing about like Lucci. Do you think Lucci is strong like post time skip? Like I don't know if he could match up with Luffy, but like wouldn't be surprised if like these Buggy's commanders actually come back and surprise us. Like they just like like when Kobe showed up at like, Water 7 and we're like whoa he sees Rokushiki. Like maybe we see that out of these dudes like Black. Okay, this is a complete joke.
What's
Blackbeard
up?
shows up, Buggy comes down, and Buggy's commanders actually just like wash some of Blackbeard.
Oh, dude. Okay. No, I actually agree with this. So what I expect to like to some extent, I could see Luffy or Shanks' crew going against Blackbeard, and then it's kind of like a throwback to old school Naruto during the Sasuke retrieval arc, where maybe they're having some troubles with some of their one-on-ones. And then all of a sudden you have these dudes showing up as backup and assistants. But your backup is Buggy, Alvida, Galdino, and Kabaji, you know? Like, just the worst assistants out there. That'd be so great.
Can't wait to see what Oda does with Buggy. It's going to be insane. Buggy
good.
And Evil, but like, and the other thing is Alvida is in Buggy's crew, and Alvida's power is broken. Like, I don't know why people dismiss her like that. If she just learns hockey, like she's a menace. She can't be a touch. She's just like Luffy, essentially.
Yeah.
She dodges all physical attacks. It's not fair.
It's like constant observation hockey. Like she's just avoiding everything.
Yeah, like can she be shot? Like I don't even think she could be shot either, right?
I mean, because the bullets would just slide off of her, like Superman or something.
Yeah, that's not fair. Like who like I guess she could be cut, but like maybe not. Like maybe
maybe she could slide through the blade. Like there's really no limits to it, right?
Yeah,
that we know of.
I'm just thinking about it. Like wait, hold on. Only can
like, and then Buggy's also immune to swords. Like these guys are broken on paper. Yeah. These guys are like, kind of insane.
Luffy technically, I mean with hockey maybe, but then the implication would be can armament hockey also slide off? Like that's kind of what it would feel like. Like
I have no idea.
Yeah, so then
like that's like a hard counter to everything.
The only person who can damage her in Luffy's crew is Nami right now because Sanji.
Like somebody who does like big AOE attacks could really attack her because she can't slide out of it.
If Frankie ever wanted to radical beam her, sure, but like there's not many people that could actually do. Wait, this is okay, but Buggy is gonna be amazing.
He's broken, bro. Dude, if Kabaji can breathe fire, man, do you think his fire is gonna be like a bolo breath?
Yo, oh my gosh.
God.
If they make it more powerful than Bolo, I'm done. That'd be insane.
Kabaji the acrobat. I saw a picture. I saw a really good meme of they photoshopped Kabaji over Ben Beckman at Marineford, and he's like, stop Kizaru, you're going nowhere.
Damn.
And then Kizaru's like, oh no, it's Kabaji the acrobat.
The funniest part is like, especially now that Buggy's a Yonko, we have to respect the parallel that might happen between him and Shanks, because like they've always had the parallel.
I hope so. Yes.
It's
So Shanks and Blackbeard, or Shanks and Buggy actually fought together against Blackbeard in the Odin flashback. So I'm really wondering if we're gonna get like a reiteration of that, like adult Shanks and adult Buggy versus Blackbeard. Because I think that'd be a really cool match. Like we've seen a lot of Straw Hats fight. We've seen Luffy fight end on end. So I think it would be nice to get an entirely different character that fights to the death. I think that'd be really cool. Especially if it's a goofy dynamic like Buggy and Shanks per se.
So do you think we're gonna get all 4 Yonkos in the same place eventually?
I feel like it'd be a lot of hype. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what Oda would do, but I would love that. I love it when like really strong characters or characters of a title come together. Like when we had the Warlords meet all the way back in like what, the East Blue Saga or something. Like I thought that was so freaking cool.
And it's gonna be funny. I was thinking about this, like, you know, like when Whitebeard or Buggy showed up and Whitebeard like respected him. Like,
yeah, oh my gosh.
People, like when they confront Blackbeard, Blackbeard's like, oh, I remember our fights from back in the day. And then they're gonna be like, you fought Blackbeard? Oh my god, this guy's a legend. And then
he clashed with him.
Yeah, the clout is gonna go through the roof with Buggy.
Dude, I just thought about this. People really love the sky-splitting feats of Yonko, but Buggy could technically just use Chop Chop on the clouds, right? And just split them by himself. Like, he doesn't need an opponent. He can do it by himself.
So here's the crazy thing. Okay, we don't have to talk about this too much because this is gonna, like, people might get lost here. But like, do you think Buggy has You know what I'm asking? Do you think he has Conqueror's Haki or like Haki in general? Like he does.
Okay.
I feel like he does.
So, Buggy and Shanks they're not, from what we know, they're probably not biological brothers, but they refer to themselves as brothers, right?
Wait, one thing on there before they went to Marineford. I'm pretty sure in Raws also this is confirmed. You know, do you remember that scene when they were like they called the ship that Luffy was on, and they didn't even respect Crocodile or Jinbei. They respected Luffy and Buggy. What they said was, "You're blood brothers with Shanks." And, and everyone freaked out, but Buggy didn't deny that. And so I was always like, wait, hold on. Like saying, because they clarified with Luffy about Ace, they're sort of like brothers, but in that panel they said blood brothers, and Buggy never denied that, and it was so quick, and I was like, wait, hold on, we're just gonna walk by this.
It's still up in the air. I really want to believe they are blood brothers. I mean, it would make sense, right? They're about the same age. They have like the dual hairs. We have red and blue here. I just think it makes a lot of sense. But if they are actual brothers, like biological, and Shanks has this crazy Conqueror's Haki, I wouldn't put it past Buggy to actually have it somewhere deep down. But one thing I want to say is that I feel like he definitely has an awakening. This guy's mastery of his Devil Fruit is insane. Like, whenever you see Buggy, he's 99% of the time using his Devil Fruit. His mastery of his Devil Fruit should be insane by this point. Yeah, that's just my own personal opinion. But Buggy, like, we can't sleep on him. We can't sleep on Buggy. Yeah.
He's a mystery for sure. There's so many things, like for a lot of reasons. Like Marineford was clouded to us because we didn't know Haki, right? So there's a lot of things we didn't see, but in reflection, we're like, oh, that was Haki, this was Haki, that's Haki, right? Yeah. And one of the things people started doing is with Buggy, right? And there's a lot of scenes where it just seems like he was using Rio. Like it's actually like concrete, where it's just like, okay, this isn't like that much of a stretch to think that he, like, one of the scenes is when they cracked the iceberg, and everyone else made a crack except for Buggy. And then when you look at the comparison in when Luffy learned Rio, it looked exactly like that, and the explosion,
oh my gosh,
same thing. And then another example, Mosh DMC, he's on Twitter and YouTube, he was pointing out to me that when Buggy fought Mihawk, one of the things that he did was he shot a buggy ball, like a muggy ball, one of his new and improved ones, and that thing was powerful enough to one shot an awakened Zoan and impel down, but Mihawk bounced it back at him, and it was in his face, and he took no damage, 0 damage. He was completely fine the next chapter. And so he was like, yo, maybe he was using like Rio to defend himself. Like, you're telling me the same thing. The last time we saw it, one shot an awakened Zoan, that Crocodile was like, yo, this thing is insane. You know, like Luffy had to like multiple hit them. But then Buggy takes the hit and he doesn't take any damage.
Dude, the Muggy Dom was too strong. See, here's the thing too, like, it could go either way, right? This could be Buggy just being a complete gag and Oda, you know, saving him and, you know, making him survive all this. Or it's like you said, it could be actually Buggy is strong. He has Haki, he has Conquerors, Rio, and everything. Even observation to, like, you know, dodge sword attacks. Like, this guy technically could have it all. And it's so crazy.
He's the Pandora box, because once we open it and find out what's inside, like, it's like, I forget if I mentioned at the beginning of the call, one of the people, another creator, I roasted him yesterday, because when I said this on stream, that Buggy was going to be Yonko, he said, if Buggy is Yonko, he was saying this as a joke, but he's like, if Buggy is a Yonko, I'm dropping One Piece and I'm quitting the podcast.
Oh my gosh.
So when it showed up
he's gone.
Today, I was just like, yo, tell me how you really feel. It was too good. It was too good.
He's such a good pick. Oh, so before we get too distracted by the Buggy topic though, what do you think is going to happen with Aramaki? Do you think Luffy's going to fight him? Do you think Kaido's going to come in, or Big Mom? I'm a big fan of Kaido stepping in, right? I've been a purveyor of this, but I really feel like Kaido's going to stop this guy from going to the festival. I don't know what it is that possesses me to say that. Maybe it's because we haven't seen the man in so long. Like, I'm just waiting for like my dad to come back home or something. But I feel like Kaido's gonna stop him.
I I really don't know what to expect, because like the way he's built up, he went into Udon and just no dipped everybody, right? Like I'm not saying he could do that same thing to Flower Capital, like I don't think that's the case, but you know, a big point is that if he were to unleash his power and just like grab everybody, it'd be a hard thing to defend against. There's so many hostages, there's so many things, so like there's so many ways that it can go. One of the prevailing thoughts were like, maybe he's not like a completely evil person before this, but that is not the case. He has Luffy's poster. I want his head. He's going there, and he's angry apparently, and the tough, like this is another, going back to the other point, like the last panel of this chapter, like I said on stream that this panel was, I think, cooler, colder, tougher than Luffy walking up on Big Mom and Kaido. Like he's solo dolo. He knows what's ahead of him. Onigashima, Flower Capital, one man walking down, like, and I don't know what to feel about this, because he just called King and Queen fodder, and just before this they were, you know, besides like the community's take of them, they're Yonko, they're Kaido
top tier.
And so I don't know what to expect. Like, does and the other part of it is like, you know, Yonkos are supposed to uphold a balance, right? But the Gorosei aren't necessarily happy with these picks, because like they were inside with Big Mom and Kaido. You know, Stussy was with Big Mom and Kaido is supplying them weapons. So it's like they, you know, as much as they were Yonko and pirates, they were also working with the world government too, to a certain extent. As much as Kaido wants to say he hates the world government, he has to realize like, yo, you were kind of giving a weapon to them, like, but these, you know, especially Luffy, they're not necessarily happy with him, but like, does it make sense for Green Bull to like wipe him here? But he's going there, and it's like, what? I don't know. Is he going there to take Robin? Because that's what prefaced last chapter.
It's like you said, that Green Bull knows exactly what he's walking into. It's not like he's going to be surprised when he sees Law, Kid, and Luffy and all their crews here. Like, he knows what is here. And like you said, he's willingly walking down there in the last panel. Like, he's not afraid at all. He's just like, I need to get this over with. We don't have time to waste. So it's like, how strong could he be? But also, if he does make it to the festival, one thing I want to notice, or one thing I want to pay attention to, is how he treats civilians. Because Fujitoda went out of his way to save everybody he could. Would Aramaki be the same way? Or would he act, do you think he'll, like, you know, spear trap a lot of the civilians around him? Because that would be kind of bad, you know what I mean? It would set a different precedent for admirals, especially since we know that he's an Akainu fanboy. He might be able to do it.
Yeah, like, the thing is, Akainu, he was more protective of civilians, but not on Ohara, right? Because they're evil, right? And these people aren't aligned with the world government anyways. Nobody even knows about them. So, like, and then from the 3 pages we got of Green Bull here, we kind of get the feeling that he's crazier than Akainu. He's scarier. He's a menace. So, like, he might just, like, if someone like, hey, yo, stop, don't take our Shogun, don't kill our hero, and then he's just dead. Like, that's maybe what is gonna happen. Anybody who stands in his way is probably just gonna get wrecked. Like, that's the way I kind of see it.
He did say he loved how Akainu, like, does really flashy things, like how he goes overboard. So I could see him following suit. But yeah, it would be a shame.
This is like a slight, you know, and we'll talk about this more on the stream, is like the slight detail that I was thinking about in terms of like the civilian thing, because to me it kind of feels like Aramaki is familiar with Wano, because he flew there. He knew where Udon was apparently, but he didn't need to fly to Flower Capital. He walked from Udon and is just walking to like it's, in terms of, you know, I mentioned earlier that he might be Zoro's dad. That is the one thing that is blatantly like, this can't be Zoro's dad, because he's not lost. He knows exactly where he's going. So maybe Zoro got it from his mom.
Maybe he stole it from Zorro though. Maybe he stole all of Zoro's perception of where he's at, and that's why he's so good.
Like, it seems like Green Bull is not a gag character, but he might have the gag. I really like that take of like he unintentionally just does good things where he goes. I like that gag. The other gag that might be there is that he has a Sanji gag. Like he might be weak around women because we haven't seen him interact with women yet. So people were saying that like, oh, maybe once he sees like Nami and Robin, he'll just like, all right, never mind. You know what I mean? Like he might be doing that. Or like if someone tries to feed him, he'd be like, it's a pretty lady. All right, pause. I'm part of the party.
Oh yeah, he did say that. If a pretty lady tries to feed him, then he'll stop, right?
Yeah, that's what he did say.
Yeah, he'll stop his fast.
And the name Green Bull is really interesting because, like, you know, green, like this is almost like a bull, right? He sees red, he's charging at it, but like you can diffuse a bull, like a bull can stop, right? And it's like maybe the matador here would be women, like whoever wants to go feed him, that's his diffuse, like that is what calms him down.
And we know a lot of food and drink are here, and there's a lot of, you know, happy people, so. I don't know. It could go so many different ways. Like 1054 can't come soon enough, and we have a 4-week freaking break too.
Yeah, and I think
that's
the best
insane
way to like cap off this conversation would be the part where, you know, Robin is an emphasis point, but now that we know Pluton is here, does the world government know Pluton is here? Because I feel like they should know that.
I feel like they do. I feel like that has to be one of the main reasons why they're so interested in Wano in the first place. And like, why, if it was open, they would attack it.
Yeah, not the admirals, but the Gorosei should know.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I feel like they definitely do.
Maybe that's why Green Bull's going. Maybe he goes through just purely for, you know, Robin and Pluton rather than like a full. No, but he's going for Luffy too, so we don't really know. But like, I think, do you think in 1054 we're gonna get more on Pluton?
I don't think we will. I think we're gonna save Pluton for like near the end of Wano, like as they're about to leave. I feel like we'll get more of it, but I feel like next chapter might be primarily focused on Green Bull. I just can't imagine how he wouldn't take up a majority of the chapter. Or how we would have time to go look for Pluton. Which also, where is Pluton? From the way everybody is talking about it, it seems like Pluton might still be somewhat functional. And if it is, it has to be either big or really small, because it is a warship. So I heard a couple of theories. I like the theory that it is in the volcano where Big Mom and Kaido fell down. Or it could be the entire island of Wano.
So there's a whole plethora of things that I'm thinking about, but what was interesting with this is that your point earlier was that Robin was the one who said Pluton is in Wano based off the poneglyph in Arabasta. Now we were saying R instead of L, but Arabasta. And what's interesting about that, to me, it wouldn't make sense for two poneglyphs to talk about Pluton, like its location, right? So that means the Wano poneglyphs probably don't mention Pluton, but Tengu or Sukiyaki, he probably knows of Pluton, maybe because he has seen it. Like, because again, if the poneglyphs don't say it, then he probably has knowledge of Pluton existing. So that, again, like, it's probably just inactive in there. And then that's where I have this video called Devil Fruit Boats Float video, and it was a long time ago, last year. It was basically what would happen if a boat ate a devil fruit, because Going Merry had a Cloboterman, and you'll understand it more once you watch my recent Mihawk video. But essentially, we are seeing we know inanimate objects can eat devil fruits. We've seen guns, we've seen swords, and then I was thinking like, wait, what about a ship? A ship has a spirit. And my idea was like, maybe Vegapunk was able to figure out how to get these things to eat them because of the spirit that they have, because everything has a spirit. And so we've seen a ship, the Cloboterman, that is a spirit that could possibly eat a fruit. And a lot of people are like, wait, if a ship ate a fruit, then wouldn't it just sink? And I was like, no, because a ship, it doesn't change. Like Luffy is still rubber when he's underwater. He still stretches, right? So you retain some of your natural settings, right? And a ship naturally floats. And the specificity of what weakens a devil fruit user is being submerged in water. And so when you think about Wano's a giant bathtub.
Yeah.
So the island of Wano is probably like something to keep Pluton inactive because it's
It's like on
submerged
top of
in
it.
water.
Yeah.
It's under. It's like inside the bath is Pluton. It's held inactive because maybe it has a devil fruit, possibly. And then what was really interesting is I liked what you said yesterday on your stream yesterday. Great stream, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
The golem thing. Do you want to explain that again? Like,
yeah. So I was like, I was trying to find out where Pluton was, and I was like, well, if Pluton is, you know, a warship, maybe it's a lot smaller than we thought. Maybe it doesn't have to be this giant, like, you know, warship with a cannon on it per se. But instead, I was imagining like maybe a sentient golem, or maybe like something that ate a devil fruit and it's just really freaking strong that can go around and destroy countries. And the reason they call it a weapon is because it might not be like a human per se. Yeah. So I was expecting like some sort of golem, but right. You know, like that's just like a crazy far reach. But if it does happen, that's my claim to fame. That's my claim to fame right there.
It's not a crazy far reach. I would tell you to go watch the Devil Fruits boat float because at the very end of it, I was saying, like, in terms of sentient objects, like, where does it stop? If Going Merry was a sentient object just off of 9 months with or less with Luffy, yeah. Right? It became sentient over that time. We're talking Pluton was probably Joy Boy's ship. Joy Boy, right? Probably his ship. So given what they went through, if it's a ship, 100% has a Claboterman. 100% it's probably sentient. And then here's why. So at the end of that video, what I was saying is, like, where does it end? Maybe Laughtail disappeared because Laughtail, when you think about things that could be sentient, I was thinking like islands have plenty of history. If you're thinking about the ancient kingdom, Laughtail, that could be an island that became sentient, and we're seeing examples of that. Like Usopp was on an island that was alive, right? And the other part of it is when you kind of think about an island, some islands like Moria's thing could be a ship and you just wouldn't know. And Moria's ship could be foreshadowed to something like this, where, you know, an island could essentially just be a giant ship that moves. And so now going back to what you're saying about you saying it's a reach and all that stuff, it's not a reach, because if you think about the person that we know that knows about Pluton, it's Frankie. And what has Frankie progressively done as we known him? He's been creating like Transformers, right? In Thriller Bark, he created out of his crew, he created a Transformer, and that was
so you think it's like like him trying to mirror Pluton to some extent?
Yeah, and then General Frankie. Yeah. And then this is the treat that I want to give you, because I've been thinking. So you saying it's a reach, I tell this to, you know, maybe there's a good time to tell your viewers a little bit about who I am. If it's a reach, come to me and I'll help you explain. That. There's a meme in my Discord server and another Discord server where essentially, you know, people have like these awesome ideas, and I'm just like, you know, people always call ideas stupid and theories dumb and just like shoot them down. And it's like, that's so anti One Piece, because like One Piece is all about just like outside of the box. Like we're talking about Buggy, like those same people shot down Buggy, but here we are, right? You know what I mean? And so like I'm a person that's like, you know, have fun with the theories, even if they're wrong. Like if you have solid logic, you're talking about the story as Oda's telling it, then, and you're coming to cool ideas, why not? And so I tell people there's a meme now where I'm essentially like a Yu-Gi-Oh trap card, where someone will get into like a debate about something, and then they'll at me, they'll be like, okay, I can't explain this, but let's see if Parvision can. And then that's where my Mihawk video is born. I explain that there. So that's a huge thing, because so someone was saying, well, no, I said this about Mihawk, but where this came from was actually someone was saying Zorro is a plant, and they called me to explain it. And at first I was like, all right, I see where you're coming from. But then as I debated it, I agreed, and I was like, oh no, to the point where I was just like, if I make a video,
use a plant.
If Zorro's a plant, take away my channel, because this is too much. But the evidence keeps piling up. Like
that Zorro's a plant.
Yes. And so this will be a teaser to your viewers, because explaining the in-between it will lose people, but the ending part, do you think are plant people canon to One Piece?
I mean, technically, yes.
What do you mean technically?
I mean, they're in One Piece. I mean, we've seen so many crazy, like, iterations of, like, people, like, Lunarians, fishmen.
No, there are, in story, you should know this character, actually. You should know this character.
A tree person. Are you talking about, you're not talking about Gaimon. Wait, who are you talking about?
Okay, so there's a race, and then there's a people. So I'll drop the first one because I just said this one. Look at Crocus. Crocus has flower petals growing out of his head, and he's not the only person. If you look at Koala's backstory, I think it's chapter 623 or 624. When Koala was taken by Fisher Tiger, she was held by a bunch of people who were celestial dragon slaves. That entire people were all people with flower petal heads, and I'm assuming that's where Crocus is from. Now, that's one side. We don't get a huge bit of detail about them. But in Big Mom's book, in Montior's book, she has a bunch of races, and one of those races, and this was actually one of the traded races too, like in Sabaody, the Kinokobito, which is mushroom people. This is a race of mushroom hybrid people in One Piece. So plant people are very canon to One Piece.
Gosh, I see it.
And that's where, you know, that's why it's a teaser. So there's a bunch of in between there that is like, oh my god, wait, hold on. Because when I was explaining this, like when someone played me as the trap card, I was just like, I didn't even think about that, and it already made sense. And then I dropped that, and they're like, all right, it's confirmed. Zorro is a fucking plant.
Okay, but this brings me to another question. What would Zorro being a plant have to do to forward the story per se? Because Oda would have to bring it up and like kind of tie it in with some lore or etc.
So here is where the biggest thing is. You remember like with Luffy, when everyone was questioning his fruit, though, everyone was like resin, oh my god, trees. Everyone became a botanist, right? Noland is a botanist. Botany is super big. I mean, devil fruits, like they're fruits, they're from trees. So, and we don't know what tree that's from. And then the question is like, Green Bull is now here and he's a menace, and this is like, we don't even know what fruit he is. But if he's some kind of nature related thing, then that already kind of tells us that this thematic is going to be huge. And then you tie into where Imu is. Where is Imu? Imu is in the Chamber of Flowers. Nature is going to play a huge role in the end. And I don't know where it ends up, but these like that, the little ties into those things are crazy. And so earlier when you were talking about the bounty hunter, the cactus guy, I was dying because one of the things I said in my last VOD, when people were like, you know, Zorro's a plant, whatever, and they were like, how can a plant be a swordsman? And I was just like, have you seen a cactus? A cactus is literally a plant swordsman. And then you said the bounty hunter was a cactus guy, and I was like, all right, so all the bounty hunters are just connected to plants now. We got Green Bull, who might be a bounty hunter, that guy is a cactus, and Zorro might be a plant. And these are the three most prominent bounty hunters.
If we get another bounty hunter, and if they're plant related, I'm gonna lose my mind. I would have to believe it at this point. Just like, yeah, that would be crazy.
You know where you heard it. But so all this conversation was a detour from the Pluton thing. So
yeah,
going back to that it's not a reach, because, you know, Frankie is already leading us up to there. But the other thing that I wanted to point out to you is chapter 355, when Tom explains the blueprints of Pluton to Iceberg and Frankie. Iceberg goes, why would anyone build something like this? And then Frankie looks at this and says, can humans really build this thing? Which is interesting, because Frankie's saying that it then explains like, oh, he's progressively building something like this, a golem possibly. And then Tom's response is, and I got the raws for this too, that's the most dangerous beast in the history of shipbuilding. And the raw for it is, instead of beast, it was that's the monster of shipbuilding history. Yeah. So it's not a reach to think that it's a golem, bro.
So I'm not crazy.
Yeah, you pulled out the Parvision trap card here. You thought you were crazy. You pulled me out, and here I am.
Yeah, you're like the mental pill. You're like bringing me back to reality, saying, "No, you got this." I like that.
I mean, that's the thing. There's so much in One Piece that can explain so many things, and it's so much fun, right? Like, this is a fun idea. Even if you're wrong, like, it's cool to think about.
See, that's the thing that I think people like don't get sometimes. Like, One Piece is a fun series to like guess about, and if you're wrong, you're wrong. But if you're right, it's cool, you know.
Yeah.
But like, we're not dying on this hill. But if it happens, then it's like a lot of fun to like speculate and to like think about.
Yeah, and just wrapping back to 1053, that it gave us a lot to think about, a lot of fun. I think every panel was like, it put a smile on my face almost, because it's just either exciting or Buggy or, you know, Luffy smiling. Like, it's Zorro smiling, Kinemon, Notsuru. This chapter was like, you know, going back to the beginning of the conversation, when you asked me how I felt about it, I think that this chapter, like, you know, a lot of other things could have happened, but this was a great way to go into the break. Great way to start the break. So much hype for 1054. I'm so excited to see what happens.
One of my favorite things is Oda was hyping up the ending of 1053. He said, hey, there's been this one panel that I always been wanting to draw for a long time now. And for some reason, I'm just like, dude, it has to be the Buggy poster. It has to be the Buggy Yonko reveal. Because we know that Buggy is his favorite character. So he's probably just like hyping up the boy. That has to be what it is. It's either that or Aramaki. Either one of those.
I also heard that Shanks is like, he thinks that he's most like Shanks in the series. Like, that's who he relates to. Yeah. And that's interesting too, because if Buggy's his favorite character, then, and it's like their brother or friend, like, now we should look at, if we could figure out who Oda is, we could figure out who his best friend is, and be like, that's Buggy. You know my
gosh. Yeah. He has like a real life person, like his assistant or something is Buggy.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
That'd be so cool. Yeah. I didn't know that he said that he's been waiting to draw one of these panels. Yes. I actually didn't hear that. Wow.
He said that he wanted to draw the end of this chapter. He was waiting for this chapter. So I'm most likely believing that it was the Shanks and Luffy reveal as Yonko.
Yeah, it's either that one or like the one above with Luffy, like fireworks. You know, that's also you know, that goes back to the Skypiea panel.
Yeah, Skypiea. He said that was Skypiea was one of his favorite panels too. So the Wano celebration would be lined with that too.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this whole chapter is like filled with favorite panels. Like last chapter, every chapter. And you know, one of the things I did hear was that 1054 is gonna be the beginning of the last saga. And you know, in line with that, people were saying like Act 3 hasn't ended, and a lot of people, you know, I thought the war was going to continue with Kaido and Big Mom, and you said like maybe Kaido comes back possibly, you know. And what do you think in terms of like Act 3 / Wano continuing?
I think Wano will continue, but not in like an Act 3, Act 4, Act 5 kind of way. I think we'll still be here for the next couple of chapters, but I feel like the focus is going to shift entirely. Like they're already done with the raid. Like the raid has succeeded. The people are free. It's been 7 days. So I don't think the Beast Pirates are going to make a comeback. I don't think the Big Mom Pirates are going to make a comeback other than to get their captain. But the real question is, where are the captains? Big Mom, her fleet is outside of Wano Kuni attacking CP0 ships. They're still wandering around here for a reason. And their only real reason to still be here is to look for Big Mom. And the Beast Pirates, they didn't have Jack, they didn't have Kaido, the Tobi Roppo weren't here. So I'm assuming that these guys are like out there looking for their captains. And if that's the case, then I wouldn't be too surprised if Aramaki runs into them somehow. And you know, granted, there's still a lot to go here. Like we have the bounty reveals of the other Straw Hats, we still haven't gotten that. Pluton, like you said, what's gonna happen with Momonosuke? Like what's his decision making gonna look like? There's just so much left in Wano that I don't think we can leave yet. But what Oda might mean by going to the next saga is that we're gonna shift our focus away from the Yonkos, because this was the Yonko saga. It's over now. We're now gonna shift towards something else. Like maybe Aramaki comes in next chapter and he says, hey, this is what's happening around the world. And then Luffy and everybody else, they're gonna, you know, a fire's gonna light up and they say, hey, we gotta get out of here. Like we have to focus on getting out of Wano and doing other things, thus entering us into the next arc, the final saga. That's what I think is going to happen. I just can't imagine us, you know, focusing more on Kaido taking over Wano Kuni. I think the dream for him is dead at this point.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he's gonna come back and say, oh, yep, my whole crew is like gone, king and queen are gone, but I'm gonna go back and ruin this festival. I just can't see him doing that.
Yeah, I think that's a beautiful explanation of that take, because I agree with that. Like, when people were saying like last saga, that means Wano's ending, I was like, wait, hold on, that doesn't mean Wano's ending. Wano can carry on into the next thing, and Wano was built up in such a way that a lot of the lore, if we're not going to close all these plot lines, it might continue and preface the last saga, which is a huge thing for my latest video, the Amatsuki thing that we're going to talk about tomorrow. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for you to hear that, because your take literally aligns up with why my logic line is that. But adding on to things that we don't know about, there are 4 poneglyphs that we have not read. 2 from Big Mom and 1 that we saw here, but then there should be one more one, and we don't even know where it is, and we can't leave Wano without at least finding that one. If we're not gonna read it, and Oda,
like, where are we gonna go?
Calls us, like, we have to read that. Like, it just doesn't. It's weird to think about, and leaving Wano, ending Wano like that. But I agree 100% that like the shift of focus will now be outside the Yonko, because like, again, the way Kaido went down, my understanding, if Kaido ever got back up, was not that like, I'm going to be this menace anymore. It was more like, you're Joy Boy, I'm going to test you. That was my original thought. But now, and then the other way about it was, I was predicting that Kaido would die, but it wasn't by the magma. I thought that he would die to protect Luffy, because he is Joy Boy. And so what I was saying in that video was that if that's the case, then that would mean that there's an admiral on the ship. And I didn't know what admiral. I was like, maybe it's Akainu, since they're in magma and Akainu's magma. Maybe he shows up with the magma. I don't know. And so, but and like, I was right on the admiral, but I was wrong in the other front, because Green Bull wasn't even on the boat. He flew there on a helicopter flower. And so like I don't even know what that was about. He wasn't even using Skywalk or anything. And so now I can definitely see it, where Kaido like if he comes back, he might be like, hey, yo, you're not taking out Joy Boy. Like, I'm going to stop you. Joy Boy needs to live. You're not going to do shit to him. And Kaido would, like, as much as he called everyone else fodder, like, as Kaido's had 7 days, he's a mythical Zoan. The magma probably empowered him.
He's a legend. Yeah, Kaido's a legend. He should not be that injured.
And then that's the question, where does Green Bull lose, and like, or is he just disabled and stopped? I don't know, but
I think a good way to take it is maybe Kaido is injured to an extent. Maybe definitely like not 0% out there, but maybe like 80-70% at his full power, and then him and Green Bull fight. Green Bull unfortunately maybe wins, and then he's like, okay, this is a big pot as well, so he takes Kaido instead of Luffy. But I don't know, like, it's a hard one, because I just can't see Aramaki going up there, and I can't leave without knowing where Kaido is too. And like you said, it's very much in Kaido's character to want to protect Joy Boy, especially a man that defeated him. I could see it happening.
And my perspective was that Kaido had lived his entire life not in preparation of Joy Boy, but doing the things that he thought Joy Boy needed. Because when you think about opening up Wano and taking over the world, I think he just had the wrong perspective of what those words meant, because his things like, okay, if you need to take over the world, you need weapons. If you need a fortress, if you need to do all these things, but like, that's probably not what Joy Boy meant or did at all. So and going back to it, like, I'm still on the boat, like, yeah, sure, Kaido Big Mom can be down. I'm not gonna have the copium, as people would say, that, oh, you're just waiting for them to come back. But the thing is, like, Big Mom's last words were, this is not going to kill me. Yeah. Like, there's no, I don't know. Like, it could either they don't come back and it doesn't make sense and I accept it, or she comes back and it makes sense, and that's great. That's kind of how I see it. And I'm just like, this conversation was great, because like, we just walked through so much of it, and we talked about how many different ways the 1054 can go, and every one of them sounded dope. Every one of them sounded
there's not a bad possibility. Doctor Strange would have a field day with this one. Like, no matter what he does, it's gonna be awesome.
The Doctor Strange reference made me laugh because last chapter when Hawkins died, I was saying Hawkins is essentially Doctor Strange with it's a 1% chance, and Hawkins just chose the L path.
Like, I don't know about Hawkins, man. Hawkins, I expected so much from him. And now he's just like, he's dead. The guy's gone.
He threw out so many numbers and predictions, and we only got one of them. And then he, I guess, kind of like sort of retconned it a little bit. He was just like, oh, by the way, Drake, it was me I was talking about. Like, all right, dude.
I think Oda wanted to be done with his like abilities. Because imagine the guy just sits down and he's like, ah, yes, Luffy's chance of finding the One Piece, 100%. Like, you would lose all your tension. Like
that would have been a great way to go into the last saga though. Like have him die with a premonition right before he dies, and we're just sitting through the last saga like thinking like, oh my god, who was he talking about? That would have been really good.
Or maybe he like brings up Luffy's probability and he's like, you know what, Luffy's at a 0, and then Luffy's like whole thing is defying fate. I don't know. Hawkins is such an interesting character. I think Oda just wanted to get rid of the man.
Yeah, and it's also, you know, I think the thematic of him, he's the straw fruit user, whereas with Straw Hat Luffy, like I thought his fruit was gonna be insane. And actually no, this is a huge thing because this ties back to Green Bull. Sorry, we're talking forever.
It's good.
Orochi, Hawkins now. Who I don't know who else, but what happens to their devil fruits? The straw devil fruit's just gonna be tossed aside. If Big Mom, you know, my biggest counter to Big Mom and Kaido being down is like, all right, you say that they're down, but like, where are their fruits? So we're just gonna throw them out.
Somebody's gonna have to get it. But the thing is that the devil fruits will spawn anywhere.
And what I was saying is Green Bull might be the best person.
Oh no.
And so this is I'll leak it.
I know where you're going with this. You said Green Bull and I was like, I know where he's going.
Okay, yeah, so I think that one of the so I had a theory before that Green Bull was like a cleanup person. He goes to all the fights and he just farms the devil fruits because he has the sense, he has nature stuff, but the bounty hunter thing adds a huge different perspective because there's a black market for devil fruits.
Yep, and they sell high.
Who is getting them? It would make so much sense if he, like, as a bounty hunter, if not only pirates, but he was also collecting devil fruits. It just makes so much sense.
That'd be really cool.
Walks, and who knows, like this flower right here might just turn into Big Mom's fruit. We don't know, like, you know, maybe not Big Mom's, Orochi's fruit, whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, whoever's dead.
Earlier in Udon, we saw a mushroom grow, and I was like, "Yo, Chopper's fruit! Like that, it could be crazy." So again, like this is just insane to think about, but that's gonna be in like a theory video related to Green Bull.
I like that theory a lot, but also it's funny because this is a random tidbit. I love how devil fruits go more in price than the actual people who ate the devil fruits. Like Law's devil fruit is 5 billion berries. That's like Gold Roger proportions, and then Law's only worth 3 billion. Beforehand, he was worth 500. But the devil fruits are just expensive.
He was 5 billion?
Yes.
Oh my
back
God.
During the Dressrosa arc, they were offering 5 billion berries for the Ope Ope no Mi.
Like in the flashback, right? Like
in the flashback.
Like Drake's dad had it and he was selling it to Doflamingo or whatever.
He was gonna sell it to the government, I believe, or something like that. I think it might have been Doflamingo. You're right. But I just remember because that bounty for the fruit always stuck out to me. It was like 5 billion. Like, why 5 billion? Like, that's so expensive. And then you look at Law, who at the time had a bounty of like less than that. I think his bounty was like 200 or something. It was really low.
And the question is like, why? You know what? Now that I think about it, you're right. That's a big question because then why would you make him a warlord?
Yeah, you wanted the fruit. Just kill him.
Just assassinate him and take the what?
Yeah, or even like let's say Green Bull couldn't even do it. You could just kill him and then just like keep an eye out on the trees that grow around your area. Like honestly, like send a marine to every island and just have them check some trees. Like it should be relatively easy. The marines are everywhere already. So they can farm devil fruits.
You're telling me they basically committed like genocide for Ace as a baby, but they didn't do this for Law? hold on,
exactly.
that's a really great point.
Or they could have just kidnapped him and then just said, hey, like let's indoctrinate him and have him use the surgery. Like, I don't know, there's so many ways to go. I honestly think the Godosei are very incompetent. Every time we see them, they're just taking L's. Like, they just take non-stop L's. It's baffling to me, like how last chapter, this chapter, every time we see them, all they mention is, hey, we're messing things up, things aren't going our way. Like, nothing has ever went their way. I don't know.
It's great. The incompetency thing is a take that's growing and growing and growing. Like, I've low-key been on the side since Ohara, because like ever since they like, oh, we need Robin, let's get Robin. Well, I was like,
oh my god,
you had a whole island of you had better versions of Robin there, and you just murdered them all. Why didn't you capture them? Like,
just take them down. Like, just put them in handcuffs. They're not strong. They're scientists. These guys are researchers. Like, you would send one Marine there and they'll all cower in fear. They didn't have to kill him.
Yeah, and they had the 3 current admirals
there. They were there.
They didn't order them to. They had literally the best person to capture people, Aokiji. Hey, bro, you just go there, freeze some people, carry them back.
Like, that's all it had to be.
Yeah, I agree.
The Godosei are like actual politicians. They're just not really that smart. I don't know what it is.
What's upsetting about this is that the Gorosei are supposed to be the last saga's like antagonists.
Yeah, them and Imu
into it, slandering them, and they're not even. It's not slander at this point. This is a fair take.
Yeah,
like,
no, this is fact.
Like,
this is fact.
This is like why they have the.
The Godosei are very disappointing.
I don't want to agree with this take, but it's undeniable at this point.
They're just catching L's, man. We can't even look away.
Do you think that they're at least strong? If they're dumb, are they strong?
I have a thing with this. I don't think they're strong. I think if they were in their prime, they would be strong, and that might be one of the reasons why they wanted Jewelry Bonnie for her devil fruit. I think they might have wanted to bring him back to their prime, but that's kind of like a theory that's been out there for a while.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're necessarily strong, at least in this form that we see them. I feel like they might have something more to them. But yeah, I mean, who knows? They're so incompetent. Who knows? They might just die before we get there. They'll walk outside, slip on a banana peel, and say, "Wow, things aren't going our way again." They'll just die one by one.
Right. That was blasphemy.
I will slander these guys until they do something. Like, the Godosei were so crazy when we first met him. Do you remember, like, all the way back when Marie Joie, they were sitting in a room and you saw the guy with the sword and the scars? They had different body shapes and sizes, and you were like, wow, these guys know their stuff. Like, these guys are endgame villains. But the more we see of them, the more they just disappoint us. It's like a dad that doesn't show up to Christmas. Like what is he doing? like what could be so pressing? Like, why is he always catching these L's?
Yo, this is it. It's funny because like you are not a person with outrageous taste, like, all things considered. Like, that was one of the things I said on my stream about you, is like when I first heard, like, I saw your chapter reactions, I was on the side of like, the war is not over, Kaido's gonna come back, there's gonna be a battle cry, and a lot of people were against that, and nobody could convince me. And I watched your video, and the way you explained it, I was like, nah, yeah, he's right, this makes sense, that this is the end of this. If it does continue, it's not gonna be like this. And I agreed with that 100%. And I think through and through your chapter reactions, you always, like, end up at like a very grounded, very an accurate place in terms of that. And so now I'm upset because you're saying these things about the Gorosei, like they're gonna just be off screen essentially before we get there. And I'm like, oh no, if Civ is saying this, like,
they're just gonna get shot. They're just gonna get hit with a pistol and die.
That wasn't a thought that ever crossed my mind, and now it's gonna be sitting.
No, honestly, like, slander aside, I think the Godosei will have a good part to play. But yeah, I just don't see them as fighters right now. Like, nothing about them screams fighter anymore. They're just guys in a room. It's like the bros. It's like when, like, your dad gets together with the other dads of the neighborhood. Like, they're just hanging out. They're just talking about things that are going on. That's all that's happening.
And they don't even leave. Like,
they don't leave that room.
that might be what Oda is trying to do with them, is like the people in power becoming like, you know, obsolete. They're useless.
Like the celestial dragons.
Right. And that could be, you know, the moral that Oda is trying to get across with them. But the part that is separate to that is like, okay, if that is the case, then what is the ending going to look like?
Yeah.
If people aren't going to contribute to that part of it, if they're just a setup for everything, all the problems that we have to dismantle.
One of the reasons why I feel like they might be actually good fighters is because we need to give Zorro, Sanji, and Yam, like, pretty much we need to give somebody, like, we need to give all these guys something to do, right? Like, if Luffy's taking on the big bad guy, you know, the rest of the crew, they can't jump this man. They gotta, like, go around and, you know, fight other people. So that's why I'm like, maybe the Gorosei can fight to an extent. Maybe, you know, old man Dingleberry will give Zorro a run for his money. Who knows?
Not the name slander too.
Yeah, I mean, he has all those crazy, like, you know, freckles on him. I'm like, well, old man Dingleberry, like, the guy's just gonna pull something out.
It's crazy to think that we're 1,050 chapters in, and we could say this about the Gorosei. We can accurately say that they could be fodder, they could be useless, they could be off screen, they could be end stage villains.
Yeah.
We have no clue at all.
Remember CP0? They showed up with the force. The guys in Mask are really strong. They were in Dressrosa. They're in Wano Kuni. They're watching everything. I had a theory
except for that one guy.
I said, except for that one guy. Yeah, I had a theory that if we beat Kaido, we are not. I literally said this. I said, hey, we're not ready for the menace and the havoc that CP0 is going to cause in Wano. And then look at what happened. These guys got defeated. They're dead. These guys are actually dead.
That it was going to be like Jinbei and Sanji, like, fighting off the CP0, holding them down.
Oh my god, they'd be wasted on them. Oh.
They would just look and they would die. Like,
it would be unfair. Usopp's Conqueror's Haki would just knock them out.
For like, honestly, that is something I was holding, because Usopp didn't do anything. I love Usopp. That's my biggest video on my channel, and you know, in terms of reaches, like, that would be more of like eccentric take on Usopp. But after Onigashima, I have to pull back on like what I expect from Usopp. But yeah, Usopp could probably take on CP0 at this point. Like, like when you know what would have been hilarious? The guy escaping, Guernica, he escapes and Usopp snipes him out of the sky. That would have been...
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's Usopp's feat. He just defeats CP0.
And that would actually have been the most impactful thing, because none of the news would have come out. Yeah. That would have been crazy now that I think about it.
Also, CP0's power scaling is so off, like, right now. Like, you had these guys defeating Drake and Apu in a number. And then next thing you know, they get defeated by a wounded Izo. One of the dudes just gets slapped by Kaido's Kanabo. And then the other guy got... Yeah. And then another guy, he gets defeated by the Big Mom Pirates, who most likely doesn't even have Big Mom on the ship. Pedospedo's probably out of commission. So it's just Smoothie, who Smoothie, like, you know, the off-screen commander. Smoothie defeating somebody is kind of insane.
I can't take Smoothie. I think Smoothie slanders. Smoothie is insane. I think
Smoothie is insane too. I just don't think she's been properly introduced.
True.
Smoothie has to be strong. She has the juice fruit. She's you know, above Cracker, below Kenneker. Like, Smoothie is slated to be a really strong character, but for some reason, at every toss and turn, Oda decides to kick her to the corner. Like, just how, like, Jamba Juice is going out of business in America, Smoothie is going out of business in One Piece. Like, she's just not here. Like, where is she?
You just said she's Jamba Juice.
Yeah, she is. Like you used to think about Smoothie all the time. Jamba Juice was across from my high school, but now it's closed down. It's packed up. It's gone. Jamba Juice is going out of business. That is Smoothie.
We're not gonna say Smoothie is Jamba Juice, but I think the real reason why she couldn't be in Whole Cake Island is because Sanji was there. If she was there, Sanji would have just been folded. You know what I mean? Like, I would have been folded. I'm not gonna lie. I would have been folded too. Like, I don't even have Sanji's gag, and if Smoothie rolled up, I'm like, take me. You know what I mean? Like,
I got you. I don't blame you.
Green Bull, like I was saying, Green Bull is the better version of Smoothie, because he does essentially the same thing. He juices everybody, but then also Green Bull is the better version of Big Mom. Like, one of the things I was taking was like, when the way Green Bull showed up in Udon was what I expected of Big Mom, to just like wipe people. Just everyone's just dead. Everyone's like their souls are gone. The clip that's getting passed around in my memes channel is I expected Big Mom to suck everybody dry, and Green Bull is out here doing it. So I'm oh, man, it's
the story can go so many ways, man.
Yeah.
But like you said, like no matter what happens, it's gonna be good.
It's gonna be
it's gonna be a good chapter. I just think the 4-week break is gonna be brutal though.
Yeah,
because I read spoilers as quick as possible. So like I have like all my announcements on my phone set to spoilers. So not getting them for 4 weeks is gonna be like I'm like a crack fiend, you know? Like where's my heroin supply?
And that's where this is perfect, because I am a theory channel and you're, you know, like a reviewer, you know, everyone comes to you for the takes, and they're amazing takes. And so you know, I was telling my chat that like, yo, I'm not doing as much chapter reactions, but you guys should go to Civ's channel because he has like phenomenal takes. And so during the break, you know, you and your viewers come onto my channel, and that's exactly where the last video I put up, a lot of people are saying it feels like spoilers for the last saga. That's essentially what it is. And me and you are gonna talk about it tomorrow, for sure. And I'm excited because it adds a lot of perspective of what 1054 might look like, and the last saga, and the Gorosei, the fodder thing.
Oh my gosh.
It's gonna be nice. I'm excited for you to watch that video.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited to have you to go and be on your stream tomorrow. Thanks for coming in for all this too, man. It was nice meeting. I'm glad you're like a sane person, because I was like, we're just kind of hopping into this. Like we haven't talked beforehand, so it's like this could go really good or really bad. We'll see. But you seem like a really cool guy from your videos, and I like your theories, and like all like you somehow find the theories that I've never heard about. Like you just keep on hitting me with things I've like never seen before, and it's like, how is this possible?
You know, here actually, this is a great.
It's like
great
Yugi Moto.
It's funny because for the people who are going to be watching this video, I don't know if you're going to keep this audio in here, but we didn't even talk before on the call. We just got on the call and just like immediately started talking One Piece and clicked. Like we had like maybe like a minute before, right? Just setting up like Discord and that kind of thing. But in terms of backstory, how did you get into One Piece?
I have always been with One Piece. I watched it when I was a kid. Like I was like 6 years old, and I that's when like the anime first came out in America. So I was watching the English dub, like started in the East Blue, and then after I caught up,
Orchid's dub rap, the intro.
Oh, it's pretty much. Like it was so bad, but I loved it as a kid. You know, I was like 6-7 years old. I'm like eating it up. You know, it's like somebody like put gold in my cereal. I was having a good time with it. Essentially, I caught up and I stopped One Piece for a while, and then I came back when the anime was in Skypiea, and I was like, okay, like this is cool. Like, I mean, I thought Skypiea was really cool back then. Looking back at it now, maybe not so much, but I was like, okay, I want more of this. So I started picking up the manga, and that was it. Like that's all she said. I started reading the manga every single week, and the one reviewer that really kept me in with the series was Sawyer7 Mage. I think he really inspired me to do YouTube, because the guy just turns on the camera, he talks about what happens, and that's pretty much it. And I was like, I want to do that too. Like, I'm just a normal guy, just talking about a chapter. I'm not making theories, which is unfortunate because I think One Piece theory channels are so cool, and they also have a good amount of longevity too. Like, eventually the reviews are gonna die, right? After a week passes, the review is dead. Like, nobody's gonna go back and watch like chapter 1000 review, but you can always go back and watch a theory channel. But for me, I always like to stay in the chapter, because that's kind of what I was used to, and that's what I saw Sawyer did a long time ago. Like, he never really did theories, and I was like, that's kind of what I want to do. And here I am.
With the chapter thing, I've had people tell me they watched my channel because of my chapter reactions, and they binged. Like they, if I was on 1043 or whatever, they went back and watched all of my chapter reactions, and not even my theories. I was like, wait, hold on, I'm a theory.
What about my theories though? I love that.
And then one person actually told me that they don't even read the chapter. They're an anime only.
Oh my gosh.
They keep up with the manga because of my reaction. And I'm the only. I was like, whoa, hold on. I'm not even a good whatever. And they're like, nah, dude, like I watch you, blah blah blah. So like, and now I'm pulling everyone because I stopped my chapter reaction videos to focus on my theories, because like it's hard to balance both in terms of algorithm, and so I'm moving my chapter reactions to Spotify. But and so in lieu of that, and so I don't have to do as much editing, that kind of thing. But while that was happening, I was just like, I'm ending my things, but if you guys need more reactions, go to Sim's channel. That's essentially.
Oh my gosh, I appreciate that.
Yeah, and wait, so you started when did you start YouTube?
I started, okay, so funny enough, I started this channel like a year or two ago, but I actually started YouTube when I left high school. So when I just like turned 18, like 7 years ago, I started YouTube.
Okay.
But what happened was I got around, I think, 4,000 subs, like very early on, because I actually didn't do One Piece. I was a fairy tale. I was a fairy tale manga reviewer where every chapter I just made fun of the chapter, and I had a decent following. And I did a little bit of One Piece on the side, and that is the point where like a lot of the people who are doing One Piece now, they were small, like they had really small sub counts. Like so I remember like looking at some of the names of the people who are big reviewers now of One Piece and big theorists. Back when I started, they were really small. And I was like, you know, like quote unquote big, because I had 4K. I was like, oh wow, I was like, you know, I was like really happy with this. But then I quit YouTube. I deleted my channel, and then I came back. I came back a year ago or 2 years ago, and I look at everybody who was around me at the time, and they're all like these really big YouTubers. I'm like, holy crap, I should have kept on doing it.
They're Yonko now, and
they're Yonkos. Yeah, it's like I'm the Buggy of the situation. These guys went off to become king of the pirates.
I was gonna say you're the lurking legend, but also
no, I'm Buggy.
I like the Buggy take. I mean, that's cool too.
I mean, I'll take it.
Wait, that's cool. Wait, I love that. Wait, and so okay, and were you in the community like on like One Piece like Reddit?
No,
or that kind of thing?
I stay away from the community of One Piece and everything as much as possible. And I wanted to do that now too. Like even now, I tried not to interact with anybody about One Piece, but I've become indoctrinated. Like I just keep on reading comments. I'm now on their Twitter. I'm now on the Reddit threads, and it's like, dang, like I've become the person I didn't want to be. Like I lived long enough to become the villain.
Yeah, and that's funny because you said like the unique take of like theories and stuff, and a lot of people, when I started my channel, I started in like September, like I started on TikTok, and then people were telling me to go on YouTube, and I only started on TikTok because I saw a bunch of like clips, and I was like, wait, like I could say stuff, like I have a lot of cool ideas. I didn't know that there was an online anime community at all. So my backstory is very similar to you. When I was like 6 or 7, I started watching 4Kids, and I've been anime only up until chapter 1000. That's how long I was anime only. God. And so with an asterisk, meaning like in Dressrosa, I realized like in the anime, I was like, I had a feeling that the manga was different. So I keep the manga during Dressrosa, and I was like, okay, this is better. I like it. But then, I wasn't like super prioritizing One Piece. I was like, every Saturday for my entire life, this is the tradition of watching it. That's going to stay. And I didn't have like an incentive to go into the manga. And then in Whole Cake Island, I peeped a little bit the Katakuri fight a little bit, because I was like, why is this fight so weird in the anime? So I peeped it, but it wasn't until
the anime did it dirty.
Yeah, and it wasn't until chapter 1000 came out when I was anime only, and I met somebody, and we were introduced. He's a really big One Piece fan, and I was a really big One Piece fan, and we met, but he was a manga reader, and I was an anime only. And so he's like, have you read chapter 1000? I was like, no, I don't read the thing. And I was just like,
oh my gosh.
And in that moment, I was just like, yo, like this hype of chapter 1000, I don't want to be exposed to like Laugh Tale, for example, way beforehand. So I'm gonna start reading the manga. And then that's when I started. So it was like last 2021 I started reading the manga, and as I started rereading things, that's where a lot of my theories came back. And a lot of people like, you have such a unique take, and I think about it and I was like, that's probably because I watched the anime first and like through and through, and you get a lot more visual. So the first video major theory that I put out was elemental hockey, and one of the things that like I still think that I actually Onigashima made it way stronger. Wano made it way stronger, so I'm revamping it. The person that made it stronger is actually Hyogoro, and then Orochi's ninja like guard. They made it
the Oniwa Banshu.
Yes. None of them have double boots, but they all have powers, which is insane. But and so then I realized like, oh wow, like a lot of people like this elemental hockey theory, and it's probably because in the manga you don't really capture like for example, if I ask you what happened in the Zorro King fight, there's no way you can tell me what happened in that fight, like based on the manga. We all have to wait for it to be animated, right? And so by that same token, there's a lot of things that you see in terms of fighting powers, and that elemental hockey thing is something that I still stand by, and I think it's going to be shown to us through the Revolutionary Army and Shanks. And so in terms of being in the community, I'm also like, I'm not on Reddit. I stay away from the spoilers. The only community I really have is talking to other creators, and then all the viewers that come into the Discord, because it's just fun there. So,
Discord is so awesome. Yeah.
So I mean, like we hopped on this call. We just started talking nonstop, and this is what I enjoy, having the conversation.
Remember we hopped in here and said, "Yo, it's gonna be like 20 minutes. We're gonna be in and out." And now we're hitting at like 100, or I said 100, an hour and 30. It's like, how did this happen?
One Piece. That's how.
One Piece, freaking One Piece. Dude.
We only talked about one chapter too.
We literally just talked about one chapter, and we kind of like went on small tangents, but it all somewhat related to the chapter.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
So exciting. Yeah. And so I thank you for reaching out to me. The way you came into it, you were like super slick with it. I was like, wait a second.
I don't like announcing myself. Like, I'm not a big person. Like, when I join like a Discord or something, I just want to be a regular person. Like, I'm not anybody special.
Yeah. No, I do the same thing. I respect that, but it was just funny because that was the one day I was not active on my server.
Yeah.
So I had to scroll, and I was like, wait a second, because
this name is familiar.
Looking through, I was like, I just watched his video. What is he doing here? Like, I looked at your thumbnail. I was like, it is him. Is it him? And then I joined your server and we talked, and now we're here.
It's funny how that happens.
Yeah. It's great. I'm just so grateful that I hop on a call with someone super genuine and just enjoy this Friday afternoon talking about One Piece. So thank you for reaching out.
You're awesome, man. No, thanks for being awesome too. I mean, like, you hopped in. I showed up like 2 hours late. I don't grasp the concept of time. So I'm just as bad as the Gorosei, but let me tell you, tomorrow I will be there on the stream.
Yeah, no worries. You doing that gave me more prep work. I got the funny videos.
I'm glad. I'm glad you weren't just sitting there. Like, where is this man? I remember I woke up for a second and I saw your message on Discord saying, hey, how are we gonna set this up? And I was like, oh, like, he's asking me really early in advance, but I'm like, but I like closed my eyes for a second. I like fell back asleep, and I was like, oh, it's okay. I still have some time. But then I woke up, and then I realized, like, wait, like, Eastern Standard Time, like, how does this work again? Because I'm in Central Standard Time, so it's like usually I deal with people who are on the West Coast, so I am ahead of them. This is the first time I've dealt with somebody like who's ahead of my time, so it's like, wait, like, what is going on here? My entire world is being thrown for a loop.
When you said Friday morning works, and then I think we said 10 a.m. and then you said you're a coastal, I was like, yo, because I wake up really early. I have to.
No, that would be 9 o'clock for me. Holy crap. Yeah,
I was like, oh man, this guy is the work ethic.
Yeah, he was live streaming till like 4 a.m. He's now awake at 9. Oh no.
Yeah, I was like,
that's
because
crazy.
I've been like Brago BDA, he has that kind of thing, and I'm like, holy shit. And so I was just like, damn, everybody in the One Piece community is just better than me. Like,
no. I just want to hang out.
Yeah, don't worry about that. That was fine. It was awesome. Probably too early in the morning to talk about that stuff anyways.
Dude, I literally woke up, and the minute like it clicked that I was late, I just jumped in. I was like, I'm gonna brush my teeth, I'm gonna get some water, and I'm turning on the computer. That's it. I gotta go. And then here we are.
I wish I was as comfortable I think I said that to you, like, you're super like lax on your like channel. I am so jittery, like I can't do the full face cam thing, and but like seeing you and how you're relaxed and calm, like it's
the full face cam thing always gets to me, because like I can never watch any of my videos, because I just like I'll look at myself, I'm like, why did I make that face? Like why did I say that?
Same, like that's literally why I can't do it, because
I don't know if you're the same.
Editing. Yeah. When I go into editing, I wouldn't be able to edit it. I try to do a face cam thing, and it took me forever to edit because I was just cringing at myself, and people are telling me it's fine. I'm just like, no, it's not. And I was
no, you don't understand.
Yeah, exactly. I feel that same way, but I respect that you're able to, you're able to, have that like calmness, confidence,
Yeah. I appreciate it, man. Hey, thanks for coming in. I really appreciate you staying for like such a long time. I took up a good part of your day.